This conference will now be recorded.
Hello everyone, welcome to the next episode on ABAP on HANA and S4 HANA technical training. In the last couple of sessions, we have gone through the introduction of SAP HANA database. We have seen how to use SAP HANA modeling. And after modeling our database objects like views and procedures, we saw how to consume them in an ABAP language. We have seen the procedure proxies and view proxy techniques. We have seen the lifecycle challenges in HANA transport container in ABAP language. We've also looked at the new SQL queries, the new SQL statements, and new ABAP syntax for NetWeaver 7.4. Together with that, we also discussed about database functional and performance variants to be able to analyze and make sure that you are compatible with the new database called SAP HANA on ABAP on HANA. This has been a great journey by far in the learning, and many of you now still have a lot of questions about what is the difference between ABAP on HANA and S4 HANA, and what does it mean for you as an ABAP developer just in case your company decide to move on with S4 HANA. What does it mean for you? Does it mean your custom code will work? Does it mean you have to make some changes to the custom code? And if yes, what are all those techniques? By the help of that, you will find out which are all the areas where you have to make the changes to the custom code. So today's session, we will discuss the main differences, which will clarify you more about what is the difference between ABAP on HANA and S4 HANA. We will also talk about what it means for you and your company to migrate to an S4 HANA project. We'll talk about something called a simplification database, a simplification item, and incompatible changes to your custom code, which you need to stick to or adapt to in order to work with SAP S4 HANA. Let's get started today's session with introduction of S4 HANA. So by far we have seen what is ABAP on HANA. ABAP on HANA is actually the technological advancement into the overall three-tier architecture, where the complete database was earlier on a different database, be it a MySQL, be it MaxDB or Oracle database. And now we have replaced that database with SAP HANA, which is an in-memory database. By far in the sessions, we have seen overall advancement, overall advantages of SAP HANA, the architecture of SAP HANA, ADD tool, how to connect to ABAP system, what are all the improvements overall into the language, what are all the different OIA scenario, creating the OIA scenario using different techniques. The main question now remains still in your some of your mind is what is S4 HANA is. So many emails I've received over the last couple of days, and I thought it's good if we have a one session discussed on SAP S4 HANA and how it is different from ABAP on HANA. I would like to clarify this difference with a very simple example. The difference between ABAP on HANA and S4 HANA is exactly the same. The difference between ABAP and ECC. Again, I repeat, the difference between ABAP on HANA and S4 HANA is same as the difference between ABAP and ECC. Yes, exactly. ABAP is a technology and ECC is a product. It's a product which is a collection of all the software components in order to run your enterprise with SAP ERP. Similarly, ABAP on HANA is the technology and S4 HANA is a product which is built on this technology. Not that all, S4 HANA is much more. But before we get into S4 HANA, let's also talk about the evolution of SAP ERP. You can see this is how SAP ERP has evolved. In year 1972, SAP R1 was introduced till 1979 when the globalization hit the market. Then SAP R2 was introduced, which was a two-tier architecture. After 1991, SAP has introduced SAP R3, which we so called as three-tier architecture now, which has a presentation, application, and database layer. And finally, towards the digital enterprise, towards the journey of an intelligent and digital enterprise, In year 2015 onwards, SAP has introduced its new product called SAP S4HANA. It's very easy to understand the meaning here. S exactly means simplification. It is a simplification, guys. What is this simplification is all about? We will discuss that in today's session. Some of the touch base, some of the touch points, we'll talk about it in this simplification word. So lot about this product talks when you see this word S. This word S means simplification. What has been simplified? So SAP S4HANA is a new product, completely new product. It's a SAP next generation digital core business suite. You must have heard about business suite. It's actually an advancement of that. You must have heard about Suite on HANA. Suite on HANA was actually an ABAP on HANA stack. But SAP have done a lot to brought this completely new product called S4 HANA, which is completely separate from the classical SAP Business Suite. It's a different product. It's not business suite, guys. Therefore, we use something called a term system conversion. We do not say system upgrade. So if you see your company today using business suite and your company want to go for S4 HANA as a product, then we call it as a system conversion. It is not an upgrade. It is not a next release of suite on HANA. It is actually a completely new product, guys. Completely new product, completely reinvented the wheel of ERP. It is not like your classical ERP system, which runs on a database. It is more to that. There is something called a term used digital core, S4 HANA digital core. We'll talk about that in today's session. You'll understand more in detail. When we look at this word S means simplification. So what has been simplified? The simplification is in terms of architecture. The overall architecture has been simplified. What else has been simplified? Data models. What is data model? Your database tables. If you look at in a ERP system, which is of type business suite, there are humongous number of database tables. And why is that so? Because you got to store aggregates. You got to store change documents. You got to, along with the master data, transaction data, you are storing change documents. You are storing aggregates to do the business warehouse queries faster. And there's a lot you are doing there. You got to store indexes. So lots of storage you are doing. But when SAP S4HANA was introduced, it has all simplified it because it runs on top of HANA database. We have seen in this training advantage of column store. We talked about the benefits of a HANA database, and taking all these advantages of HANA database reinvented a complete ERP solution is S4HANA. On top of it, they have also changed the user experience. Typical user experience for a business suite application is SAP GUI, so-called SAP GUI, or WebDin Pros, or BSPs. These are user experience technologies. But with SAP S4HANA, SAP has done two important things. They have brought into Fiori, SAP Fiori user experience, which allows you to build applications deployed on S4HANA, which can run responsively on different devices, be it a mobile, tablet, or a desktop. Not that all. They have also done a great level of UI harmonization. What is UI harmonization? It is nothing but making the user feel as if the entire environment with which user working is coherent. If you get used to one transaction, one application, it's very easy for you to learn the another one because it's harmonized UI, the same look and feel it gives you. These are all two advantages of using S4HANA on the other side in terms of user experience. So this is all SAP have simplified in terms of data model. So now if you look at the overall architecture of SAP HANA or overall evolution in this case, the traditional footprint of the database was 593 gigabytes of memory, guys. When SAP just converted their database to just on HANA, with SAP HANA, they have removed lots of aggregates, lots of indexes and change document. It has been brought down to 118.6 GB, which was actually a suite on HANA. From 593 to 118. See guys, the difference. And now with SAP S4 HANA, where SAP has gotten into more deep into the database layer, and they've done more innovations over there. And now you can see the entire ERP solution is capable of running on this much of size, 42.8 gigs of memory from as compared to 593 gigabytes of memory. This is the evolution. This is the new ERP, guys. Yeah. Now with the concept of data aging, SAP is 5 fiscal year in the system of 1 year aging frequency. They have now come down to 8.4 gigabytes of memory. See the drastic change, guys, in terms of memory footprint, in terms of storage requirement for the data, because you make use of SAP HANA DB, where you don't have to now store the aggregates. You can build the aggregates on fly because it's a column database. It's an in-memory database. Yeah. This is the power of S4HANA. This is one greatest simplification which has been done. So here you see, just by taking on HANA DB, it has really improved a lot. But now with this completely new product, what SAP is selling to you as an ERP product, it is running entire enterprise with this much of memory. That is one great simplification. So they have simplified the data model. They have converted, they have removed tables from the system. In fact, those even some tables are in there, but those tables are not really using or storing the data. They are not actually used. And in today's class, I will show you what it means for you about obsolete data models, obsolete tables. Yeah, you will understand that with examples in today's session. So stay tuned. Just have a look at these PPTs. Try to understand the concept with examples. You will understand more in detail in today's class. Okay, I'm sure you have lots of questions in mind which are running in, but let me complete till some part and then you can ask your question. Hopefully it will be answered well before that. The another powerful thing which SAP S4HANA is doing, not just the simplification in terms of data store, in terms of memory footprint, but also in terms of lots of other technological advantages. As I mentioned, SAP S4HANA is a digital core. Digital core means you can connect this digital core, this particular core computing unit, to the sensors. It can receive the data from sensors. It can give commands to the sensors. Yeah. So, and that's what called Internet of Things. Have you ever heard about Raspberry Pi? Raspberry Pi is a mini computer you can install for home automation. You can control your house appliances like geysers, ACs, yeah, lights. So all the sensors, for example, if I'm putting sensors into my Formula One car, or if I'm putting sensors into cricket wickets, yeah, all these sensors it can collect data from. You can put sensors into buses, into cars. You can also track. I've seen one POC where they are tracking for all the public transport, how many times the driver has put the brake, how many times driver have speed up, how many times driver have reduced down the speed, how many times driver has pressed the escalators. All these things is what sensors are collecting data, and this you can connect this sensor data with digital core, which is Internet of Things. It allows you to integrate with business networks and social networks. SAP also have a Facebook like a concept which is called SAP Jam. They have integration with a good integration with SAP Jam and Twitter APIs. You can integrate with social media, the digital core. You have a good people integration. And as I mentioned, it runs on new role-based Fiori user experience. As a result of that, you can run the applications current with the current nature, current experience on different devices like mobile, tablets, and desktops. You can connect your SAP HANA database with big data. You can do real-time analytics because there are no aggregates. Whatever your business data is being stored, we'll do a real-time analytics on top of it. And at the end of this course, I will also show you guys POCs where we will be doing it. I will show you creating an overview page application which will take use of real-time analytics on S4. We'll do that, guys. Yeah. It runs on SAP HANA, which is an in-memory platform. It is actually allowing SAP S4HANA applications and extensions. So if a customer who has purchased SAP S4HANA, they can also have an opportunity to extend the solution. It comes into two offerings. One is on-premise, where the hardware cost is borne by the customer of SAP. You have to set up the conventional way, all the hardware, you have to spend money on hardware. and then get that installed within your company. Or another option is Cloud Edition, S4HANA Cloud, where you will get or consume the entire software as a service, SaaS. That's Cloud Edition. So these are two options which we have. Whichever is your company size, accordingly you can decide to go ahead with S4HANA releases. It is very good integration with lots of other SAP products growing into the market like Ariba, Concur, Fieldglass, Hybris, and SuccessFactor. So this is the complete positioning of entire S4HANA product. Moving on, then the question comes in our mind, what about my custom code? If SAP is saying I am going to the complete business suite to an S4HANA, you are saying that some of the database tables are now removed or obsolete. You're saying some of the things have been changed. As a developer, what about my custom code? What about development which I have done in my company? What will happen to that? Isn't it? It's a valid question. And many times when you working as an S4HANA or a BAP on HANA consultant in your company is going towards S4HANA, you will be asked as a developer, what is that you supposed to do? What is that we do in order to make sure that our custom code runs on S4HANA? Yeah. So what is the flow? What is the right direction? How do we judge? Now, to understand that, let's try to understand first the concept of custom code, how we build custom code on top of standard. If you look at this diagram, you can see on the left hand side a typical business suite system where you have certain database tables, certain APIs, function modules which SAP is offering. So you can see here couple of things which are highlighted here is a database table you are directly querying in your custom code Z report. Sometimes you are using a function module provided by SAP in your Z program. Sometimes that program is calling another program, yeah, another standard. So all the below code is SAP standard code. On top of it, you're building your custom code. Now, when you do a system conversion, now conversion is also of two types, guys. You might have heard about the term called greenfield implementation and brownfield implementation. What is greenfield implementation? As for on a greenfield implementation means there is no product right now in in your company. Your company is maybe running on some ERP or maybe something which your company don't want to continue at all. That's actually means there's nothing right now. You are going to start with S4 on a fresh. That's called greenfield implementation. That's just the easy way. When it comes to the brownfield implementation, that is little thing makes things little. Think makes makes things little. Let's say you already have a SAP system, your existing ERP system, and now you want to convert it. When you do that, as we are saying that it's an evolution, it's a simplification. Many of the database tables will no more exist. Many of them will go. That clearly means it is going to affect you. It is going to affect. And as you can rightly see on the right hand side, where you have actually an S4 HANA system migration done,
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. So now in this right hand side, you can see some of the custom code has been removed. Some of the standard code has been removed. Some of the standard tables have been removed or marked as obsolete tables. Some of the domains and data elements have been changed or extended. Now, as a result of that, you who were consuming these data elements, tables, domains, function modules, function groups, custom standard programs is affected by that. But the good news is SAP offers you something called a simplification database. What is a simplification database? So traditionally during implementation, your custom code, which was which is getting affected, is now SAP is actually making the changes, and SAP maintaining these changes against notes. They are providing you notes, and all this collection of notes along with all the changes which SAP has made in S4 as compared to the business suite are maintained inside something called simplification database. So what is a simplification database? Simplification database is nothing but it's a collection of all the changes which has been done in order to simplify the business suite together in a single transaction or in a single database table or somewhere. They are actually documenting this. So all the concrete changes which has been done in order to simplify things have been together put inside something called a simplification database. Each simplification database, it's a collection of simplification items. Okay, so inside the database you have lots of simplification items. Each simplification item indicates a change, and these simplification items are actually part of simplification category. Category as in data element length has been changed. That's a category. Under that you have, for example, material field length has been changed. Yeah. All these things comes under that. So we will now go to the system and first of all try to find out where is the simplification database. Where can you find in your S4 HANA system that these are all the things which has been changed, right? You all want to know? Let's go and check that up. So the transaction code to find out all the simplification items or the changes which has been done to simplify the suite are maintained in transaction SYCM. Let me go to our S4 HANA system. So I will go to our S4 HANA system here, and I go to transaction SYCM. Guys, you all, I hope many of you have already got the access for S4 HANA system for practicing. You all can check it. So I go to mob5 my user, and I just connect to the system, and I will show you the simplification database SYCM transaction. Guys, this is the transaction code which you find in your SAP system, S4 HANA system, where all the simplification items are stored. This is called simplification database content. Now, in this transaction, all the simplification items will be uploaded by your basis. You as a developer should not do anything. You as a developer will just go and check the changes which has been done. You will not be maintaining this database. The content of this database will be delivered by SAP. So SAP from the service marketplace, they will give a simplification database content, which your basis guys will download and upload into the system. For all of you guys, I have done that. So what I've done is I've already have my S user with my P user. I've gone to the SAP system and I have downloaded the simplification database for you. So where do you do that? In service marketplace, you will type CCM SIDB. This is actually not an activity you should do, guys. This will be done by your basis ideally. But if you want to guide your basis, you can do like this. You can go to them and tell them, hey, can you go to service marketplace and in the download section type CCM SIDB, SAP simplification database. And you'll find a zip file over here. You can see this is the zip file. And now you can click on the zip file and it will get downloaded. Yeah, this is what they got to do. After downloading the zip file, I've downloaded it already from service marketplace with my user ID. And then I come to simplification database option. And now here I have uploaded that. Import the zip file. Just have to do that. That's it, guys. Import the zip file and then just execute. You will see all the simplification items which are basically indicating an incompatible or a risky change in order to simplify the business suite will be listed down here. There are a huge number of items as compared to every simplification item category, guys. They all belongs to category, and you can see lots of changes have been done These are all the changes in terms of every type of object: function group, view, search help, data element, function module, some customizing, you see data element, transaction code. Lots of changes have been done. A lot of things have become deprecated, a lot of things have been removed because of simplification. The simplification category, SAP object name, and the note number. You can see the note number here. This will describe the complete details about the change. For example, they have made one transaction obsolete. You will find the list of the transactions into this note number. Click on the note number and it will take you to the note. Currently, I will not be able to demonstrate the note because I would need then my S user ID to be exposed and show here, which I will not do right now, but I will already show you some of those notes, how they look like and how can you find out to make the changes. So this is complete database. Now, just to take a small example for all of you, I will just quickly go back and put a data object called DTLE. DTLE, any guess, anybody what DTLE stands for? Anybody? Do you remember the object type evapors? What DTLE stands for? DTLE, anybody? Data element, guys. And now I'll search for so-called MATNR data element, so popular in the market, and I just say execute. Oops. Or maybe I just remove DTLE. I think it's not DTLE exactly. It's domain. Material number domain. Syntactically incompatible change, guys. Then you can see the note number. So 2215424, I've already opened this note number. 2215424, you can see this note number. Material number, field length, extension, general information. You can come down and you can see what has been changed. S4HANA supports material number up to 40 characters. Therefore, the maximum length of the field that handle the material number that has been extended from 18 characters to 40 characters, guys. What does it mean? Anybody, what do you think as an ABAPer? What does it mean for you? It's a change into the length of a data element. So if you have referenced direct data type in your custom program as char 18 for material number, you will see incompatible change. Okay, you will see incompatible change. So instead of 18 character, now they support up to 40 characters of material numbers with S4HANA. So if you have coded some material with like char 18 type directly rather than referring to the data element or domain in your custom program, it may lead to dumps if it is used in signatures, or it may lead to data truncation when you are just writing a report, custom report to query materials, isn't it? So that's an incompatible change for you. You got to adapt the code wherever you're done such a risk. I'll show you how to find out those risks. What all the tools do we have to do that? So very first important thing is you should have simplification database available in your system, guys. This is the very first thing, bare minimum thing you should have in your S4HANA system, that you have simplification database placed in your system, so that you can look into the changes which has been done in order to simplify the business suite. Clear, everybody? Is that a step clear? This is just one example I'm giving you. Likewise, I'll show you a couple of examples which will definitely help you to identify those changes. In today's session, I will also introduce the tools and methodologies you can use to be able to scan the complete custom package and find out those anomalies, find out those inconsistencies which will lead to dumps or some other issues. I have some good examples to do that today. Okay, that's just one example. So simplification database will actually contain all the information about changes which has been done. Okay, now you can search here based on the different categories. You can do an F4 help. You can see the different categories. What is a compatible change, non-compatible change, usage of functionality, recommended, mandatory, non-strategic. These are all different categories. Yeah, performance impact, no functional equivalent. A lot of different things are being synced. So more important for as a developer is syntactically incompatible change of existing functionality. This is more important for a developer, which is actually going to affect you badly, because these things will definitely affect you badly. Some of the WebDynpro components are there, domains are there. Yeah, they are basically more like data dictionary changes. Many of them are data dictionary changes. Yeah, like you can see table, then you have data element, table type, data element, table, program. A lot of changes have been done, and this is the main category which we as a developer do care about. Now, when you have a custom code, typically you put all your custom code inside your custom package, Z package. And now I have a good couple of good examples for all of you to demonstrate. So what I have done, or what is the general procedure, what is general guideline when your company decide to go for S4 HANA and they have lots of custom code and they say, now, hey, ABAPer, can you tell me what is that I do? What is that I can do? The very first thing you got to do is go to the basis guy, or you go yourself to SYCM transaction and see if the simplification database is available. This is very first thing you got to do. If it is there, very good, you are almost, the prerequisite is met. The procedure, the flow of converting your custom code to S4 HANA is this one, guys. This is the standard workflow or a standard process in order to probably go live. So during go live phase, this is the standard process which we all follow as best practice of a S4 HANA migration for a brownfield project. So where what we do is first, which is a non-mandatory step, it's an optional step, is to evaluate which custom code is unused, because maybe you have 500 programs, but some of those programs are no more usable, or no more used in the application. Yeah, you are not using them at all. So this is a good idea to reduce down your scope. When you really check these things up, you will see, okay, some findings you find it, but you really don't need to fix them because nobody using that custom code, isn't it? So this is a good start, but it's still not a mandatory activity. So we have SAP system with the usage procedure log, UPL log, which your basis guy can provide you with the help of that. So basically it's like not 1 day log, you got to check maybe around 1 year or 6 months of statistics of the custom code and packages which are being used actually, and then in the production and the quality system. And then accordingly you can take a call whether this custom code is usable, or you're going to use it or not. And then first step is to remove the unused custom code. So that will actually help you to reduce down also some of it. Yeah, again, it's not a mandatory activity, it's an optional activity. Then the actual game starts from phase prepare phase T2, where you now perform something called checks. Okay, you perform checks related to HANA database, which I have already taught you in the unit number 3 when we started ABAP on HANA. You remember what was the database, what was the variant, the code inspector variant we have used to check whether you are compatible to the new HANA DB or not? Does anybody remember what was the data variant of code inspector I told you to check whether functionally you will be able to work? Yes, perfect answer, all of you. Dinesh, all of you are correct. Functional DB variant, Pramod, Dinesh, Prachi, all of you are correct. Abdul, so all of you are correct. We have used functional DB variant to make sure that we are compatible on the database side, HANA database side, which you also do it as an suite on HANA system or a BAP on HANA system. Yeah, this is something you do. But then is the next level. We have to also check S4 HANA relevant checks. And that is something new bubble you can see here, which is special only for S4 HANA brownfield implementation project as part of next step, where you have to do some special checks on the custom code specific to S4 HANA. And for this, SAP offers another variant called S4 HANA readiness. Okay, they offer, okay, why am I writing, my writing is bad, let me just type in directly here in the PPT. So they have actually offered a new variant called S4 HANA readiness underscore readiness. This is the variant, guys, we will be using. Okay, so this variant will actually help you to identify the incompatible changes and give you a relational meaning with your simplification database, with the note number. What should you do? It will give you recommendations also to in terms of note that what is that is been changed and what is that you're supposed to do. Yeah, we'll see that in the system now. So together with that, I'll also introduce and make you aware of ATC tool, which we typically use both on the ABAP side from SAP GUI as a ATC run at the complete package level, and individually, if you want to do it only on your report or only on your program or only on your function module, you can actually run this variant from ADT directly in the Eclipse tool. Okay, so that is what we will be mainly looking at. That is our main goal for today's class. So if you guys are going to work on S4 project, this is something uh, which is important for you to look at. But those who are working on just on suite on HANA projects or CRM powered by HANA or PLM powered by HANA, it's not relevant. Only for those who are going to work on S4 projects, this is going to be relevant. Okay, so once that is done, then you would move on to the database migration, software updates, data conversions, whatever. That's all is the basis work, not relevant. You can see it's grayed out. More important as a developer for you is this blue part. Check for your custom code as per the S4HANA readiness or not. And then at the end, as an application developer, it's also important because since your company heavily invested on S4HANA product, what new you can leverage out of this digital core. And that's where the SQL performance worklist monitor tool comes into picture, which we also seen in unit number 4, guys. Do you remember that SQL performance worklist monitor tool, where we were able to do new performance trace and get out the cumulative and aggregates in terms of performance statistics? Yeah, and that was very helpful to for us to find out the performance gaps, violation of the guidelines. And then we also executed a code inspector variant for performance DB to also identify the main pain points where some people have done a bad programming to which will hamper the performance. Yeah, all of these we have seen by far. So something new, which is this one, in today's session I'll show you now. How do you identify these things? Now, suppose I am a developer and I have a couple of lines of code or maybe a couple of programs or function modules. And now my manager come to me and say, hey, Anubhav, can you please check if your custom program will work on S4 or not? Now, I don't know whether what will work, what will not work, because it's impossible for a human being to remember all the tables transaction which has been simplified. Not, you cannot do that. You need really system to support you with some tools and options. With the help of that, you can actually identify. So I have actually created some sample data for all of you guys. So what I've done is I have my old ERP system, and in that ERP system I have written a couple of programs, and those programs today in the morning I have imported into this system here. And all those programs were part of my suit on HANA system. I've gotten into one single package. You can see I've got a couple of programs in our S4 HANA system, and there are a couple of incompatible changes in these programs. Okay, and it could be, imagine your program when you are working on some S4 project, suit on HANA projects or some ERP ECC projects, and your company have now migrating to S4. So you imagine these are your programs, and now these programs are imported to S4HANA system, and your job, your duty primarily is to check what will work and what will not work, what is compatible and what is not compatible anymore. Yeah, so you would definitely do that. You would be interested to do that, isn't it? Valid question. Is my custom code valid? Yes, so that's what we will do. So suppose here in this case, it's a very less number of programs. It's just like 4 or 5 programs. And I want to now know, boss, what do I do about this? Is this compatible? Is this compatible? Is this compatible? I don't know. So if you want to do analysis on individual objects, okay, again, I repeat, if you want to do your analysis and kind of a check against the simplification database on individual object, you got to use ADT. So come to ABAP development tools and Eclipse, and you can see I've already connected to our S4 system from ADT. I hope all of you are aware of ADT. Those who are joining the class for the first time, I would request you to please watch the missed class videos. You have missed a lot. You have also missed the concept of ADT, what is ADT and all the other stuff, AMDP, SQL scripting, a lot of things we have seen in the past classes. Please look back those videos and come back to this video, then you will understand more better the concepts which I am showing you. However, just try to understand ADT is just ABAP development tools in Eclipse, which allows you to connect to the ABAP system from Eclipse environment and do more things. Yeah. So in a nutshell, those who are joining for the first time. Yeah. Now in this, you can see here we have a package. This is the same package I've already added in my ADT as a favorite package. You also can do that. Right click on this and say add package. and just choose your package. So my package is Z Anubhav SOH. And those who are not using my server, don't worry guys, I will upload these reports into text file to all of you. You guys can copy these programs in your respective systems and perform the same things, same exercise which I'm showing you all here. So I've got my 5 to 6 programs which I'm not sure whether they are compatible. Yeah, and I now my manager has asked me to check, please see if your programs are compatible to S4 or not. If they are not, then you identify why they are not compatible and please fix them as well. Yeah, this is the main duty for you as an ABAP developer supposed to do in S4. So what you do is you come to ADT, you open this up, and now right click on your program and choose an option called run as, and choose ABAP test cockpit with dot dot dot. This is what you got to choose. And now here put S4 HANA readiness as the check variant. You can see guys, code inspector check variant, and say okay. That's it. When you say okay guys, what happening here in this functional DB variant is also part of it automatically. So it is also going to check functional DB variant, which we had seen in the past classes. That is also it is going to check, and it's going to identify the findings for you. ATC findings. Okay, so it's doing a check on this program. You can see the bottom, the progress it's running in, and then it will give you the findings. If there is anything, it finds it. So that finding you got to fix. So maybe just quickly have a look at the code of the program, and maybe let me see if one of you guys can tell me what could be the wrong. And now I think already the findings are up in there. So you can just check. By the way, let me check your knowledge. Can anybody tell me what do you think is an issue with this program? Select star. Very good. That is basically going to hamper performance. That's okay. Still, that is not an issue on the functional side. It won't really create a problem. Perfect answer, Dinesh. You can see guys, we are doing a read table with a binary search. Yeah, we are doing a read table with binary search without sorting the table based on primary key. Yeah, without sorting the table based on primary key. As a result of that, the output will not come correct. Okay, let me show you that indeed in the system. So maybe I just open it up. um, I'll just put a breakpoint here, and I'm just going to run this in a debug mode. Okay, so just going to debug this above program here in our ADT, and we will see some record coming out of the first table selection. Yeah, so let's check that up. So I'll run this report in a debug mode here. So I put a debugger, I switch to debug perspective, and I say debug, run this, execute directly. And I give some number. Let me see if we have some test data in this demo system. It's compiling lots of programs first time, so it's taking a little bit of time. I just pick it up some purchase document number. Okay, there is no data in the system, but actually that's the issue, because we are now doing a binary search with the read table, and there is no sorting done based on primary key. That's exactly the finding, guys. And I will go you and show you here on again on above perspective. You can see exactly the same finding it has got you down there. See this finding, it's loading the documentation on the right side. You will see what documentation has to say. Read table with binary search for the result statement to be included. Line number 18, it will it will lead to issues. Okay, so now you can see without order by class, the search is being done, which would lead to incorrect results. It's a problematic statement. So ideally you should do a sort on internal table, or you should select the data from database table with order by clause. And this is what exactly we have seen in functional DB case as well. So that is what has been done. And now I will just make it compatible to S4. In fact, this is a compatibility for HANA, guys, or any DB. I just added this statement order by primary key. So the data will be fetched now in sorted form from the database table, and then makes sense to do a binary search over here. Yeah, this is what a same example what we have seen already in the past as well. So I save this and now I just activate and again going to run that check. So right click and I say run etc with S4HANA readiness, and let's see what happens to your finding now. So you can see it's running up, and once the run gets over you will get the finishing over here. Yeah, so it's still taking time. So similarly now individually I can go to each of the program and I can find out what is that which is compatible and what is that which is not compatible for my program. And you can see now the error is gone, guys. Yeah, so once my check runs the error is gone. So this was one finding and we have fixed it. So likewise you got to go each and every program and got to find the findings and fix it. But you say, hey Anubhav, are you crazy? I have a package with 600 programs in it. If I start going through each one of them, it will become a big problem for me. What do I do? So for that, I have a easy solution. You can run the complete S4HANA readiness check at package level. There are two options. One is code inspector, the way I showed you earlier, guys. But in today's class, as a difference, I'll show you the ATC. Okay, ABAP test cockpit. ABAP test cockpit not just allow you to run it immediately, but also allows you to schedule it. Typically what they do as part of quality check, the architect of your team should create an ATC test set and should schedule it weekly basis. This is how we do in our company. Me as an architect, go to my company in my team and all the packages which belongs to my team, I put them under an ATC check and I'll schedule that ATC check weekly basis. Okay, weekly basis every Thursday, like that. So whatever custom code is being developed will be checked against overnight for that ATC run, and then next day Friday morning I send a status report to entire team saying that these are all the ATC findings, please fix them. Yeah, this is what we typically do in our company. You can actually decide, or you can discuss with your architect in your team and then make a choice how you want to do it in your company. So now I'll come back and then over here I'll show you to going to ATC. Remember our package name is Z Anubhav SOH suit on HANA, and I go to /n ATC, ABAP test cockpit transaction. You can do it with code inspector also, but I just want to show ATC, guys, because some of you have requested me over the email, Anubhav, can you show ATC option as well? So I'm showing that. Go to runs, schedule a run, and now just click on create, and now just put a series name. You can give any name. So Z Anubhav suit on HANA is my series name I want to give. Creating new series, and now you give a description. So typically it's a system name underscore client underscore calendar week underscore year. So system name is NS4, client is 800, calendar week is let's say 32 and 2018. Yeah, and then you can just put here the check variant name. See guys, this is exactly the same check variant what you saw in the code inspector as well. Okay, so put your check variant name. So it is S4HANA readiness. So just search for S4HANA star FO. And you will also interestingly find a specific variant for S4HANA. So current version of our S4HANA system is S4HANA 1709. I can specifically do specify this as well. Yeah, yeah, you can choose this particular variant as well, specifically because directly I'm moving my suit on HANA system business suite to S4HANA 1709 directly. So I don't care about compatibility for 15, 11, 16, 10. Directly can choose this one. Yeah, but typically you go with the first one, or and then you specify your package name. So it's Z Anubhav suit on HANA package, and just click on save the configuration. Remember this description, click on save, and you can see Z Anubhav SOH description as for a readiness check with my current user ID is being saved here as a check. And now I can say schedule, and you can decide when you want to run it automatically, execute in background, foreground, whatever. And now I can say execute immediately. I can do that, say execute, and the execution is actually scheduled now for immediate execution. Just go back, go to monitor and control runs. So it is going to execute immediately. And now you can just say put your series name. So series name was Z Anubhav star F4, and that's the one series name. Execute it. And now you can see current state is in process, it's running. You can see guys, it's running, the check is currently running, it has been scheduled and it's running. So you see all of these are finished, but some of these checks are still running. So they are the categories of checks, so they are running, you can see. So wait for it to finish. Yeah, you can also restart if you wish to, just keep refreshing it here. And yes, you can see now the overall state is finished, all the checks have been executed. And this is the thing which can be scheduled over weekend, overnight, and you just have to come back next day morning and monitor the result and send a status report to the team that boss, these are all the findings in your Z reports or in your Z programs, please fix them up. Yeah? This is something which your architect should do. Now you guys know the process, you can become an architect. Okay, coming back to the results now. So I go back, I so monitor the results, and I come to manage results. So it has produced some results now. So we can now go and check the results. So I can say my series name is Z Anubhav Suit on HANA, and I say execute, and it will show you the result. This is the result, and you can see there are 4 priority 1 findings and 3 priority 2 findings. Typically in a real project, we only care about P1 and P2 priorities. We can ignore P3 priorities for time being. We only focus on P1 and P2. This has to be fixed. P1 and P2 has to, P1 to must fixed, you must fix it. Bad results. Okay, let me show you one of the example here. So maybe I go to this one, this particular report, and let me execute. I execute it, and this is an S4HANA system where I have got now these things from an S4HANA system. So this is, I'm running some transaction code, and I say execute, and let's see what happens. You see, I get an error message, transaction this has been obsolete, see the note number. This is an incompatible change. It's my custom code calling some transaction MB11, incompatible. Yeah, similarly, if you just come back and run this report again, my custom program, and I choose another program which is used by my custom report in S4HANA now, and boom, there you go, you can see it's dumping. Yeah, so this is what incompatibility I'm talking about. In S4HANA, due to simplification, they have made some transaction codes obsolete. There are some transaction codes which are incompatible. There are some data element increment, like we saw example for material number, it's been enhanced to 40 characters. There are some incompatible changes in terms of function groups, function modules, signatures, like this example where I'm just reading some sales order document display. Execute it, and when you run this one also dumping, you can see illegal types, some issue is coming. So how do you find these things? These are all the findings, you can get it from ATC guys. ATC will help you. So there you go, you can see ATC errors, 4 ATC P1 and P2 errors are 3. I can go inside, double click, and I can now directly be taken to SE80 transaction. You can see it has taken me to SE80 transaction where all the lists of issues are being popped up. Yeah, see old move length conflict, right issue, functionality not available. Yeah, syntactically incompatible change of existing function, database select operation select found, some of the other things. You can also select the object name, and you can do a sorting here, ascending, and now you can see per program how many issues are there for different categories. Yeah, you can also do that. You can also do sorting based on the priority, and you see prior 1, prior 2, prior 3, how many issues are there. So prior 1 mein itna hai, prior 2 mein itna hai, and then there are programs. Now the beauty here is the notes. It has actually done a mapping with your simplification database guys. That's the beauty of it. So it has got a mapping to the simplification database items, and in the simplification database each item corresponds to a note number, and that's exactly system is showing you on the right corner. You can see the note number, which is actually these two are the mapping with your simplification database in the system. Yeah, see this one, S4 HANA data model changes in SD. Yeah, material field length extension. Wow, superb. Can you see that? Article hierarchy, transaction replacement. SAP have removed some transaction in simplification process, simplified logistics. They have removed this transaction completely. It has been replaced actually by some other transaction. And look at the note number 1804812. Let me open this note number and show you what is there. 1804812. I come back, 1804812, MB transaction limited maintenance decommissioning from SAP S4HANA. So you can see in following transaction entered in display goods movement called MB transaction below have been replaced by single screen transaction MIGO. See, all these T codes SAP have replaced. They said use MIGO for all of them. That's what I'm talking about. So if you are still using this transaction, it will lead to dumps, it will lead to issues in your custom code. You got to adapt that, guys. Look at the note, note will guide you what to do. So now we know what is the issue. You can directly come back, double click on your object or single click on this object. It will directly take you to the line number where the issue is. See, line number 14, MB11 is used. What do we do? Anybody? What is that note is proposing you? What is that note is proposing you? What should you do? Just close your eyes, follow the note and solve the issue. Perfect answer. Just replace it with MIGO. Done. Save it. That's how you fix the finding. Activate it. One finding down. Let's go back. I select this item again and again do a check here. Can you see check again? I do a check again and there were 4 prior 1 items. I do a quick check again to see what has happened. So I clicked on the check. It's now making a check explicitly on this particular object. One more time. In the meantime, I can go and run this transaction or run this custom program again. So it was here, this one with the TR1 as the option. Okay, first of all, just have to close everything, reopen, and now run this. And I say option number 1. Earlier you saw an error, guys. Now I'm going to execute it again. Let me execute it with option TR1 and say execute. And of course, it is now not going to launch an obsolete transaction. It's going to launch MIGO for you. So as a result of that, you will see it will launch properly. In the meantime, you can come back and you can see the check has been passed, I think. Okay, you can see the check has been passed. Maybe I just quickly go back. What is happening? Can select everything and do a check again. All the objects I'm checking again. So your check will actually now pass because you have now removed the dependency on an obsolete transaction in S4. Yeah, this is what exactly done. And there you go. You can see in ADT already when I execute it, it's working. Earlier you were getting an error message. Yeah, you were getting an error message earlier. Now the next one, let's see what is, and you see guys, now you see, can you see the total number of P1 issues now been reduced down to only 3 when I do a check again? Yeah, can you see that? Earlier there were 4 issues and now there are only 3. Isn't it magic? That's how you can fix each of the issues step by step. Yeah. Then you can see another option, suit on HANA obsolete table, incompatible types, incompatible T code. You can see there's another functionality not available. Yeah, let's see this one, this gentleman. Let's see what is the note number. Okay, I don't see now the note number because I think it's just doing a check. Maybe I have to go back. Go back. Where is the note number gone? Here was the note number, and you can see functionality not available, incompatible T code, and there's a note number 2368680. Yeah, let's go to this note number 2368680. 2368680. It's not there, guys. It's not there. So I know that change. Actually, there is also again a usage of obsolete transaction code. And as a replacement of that, when I looked at the note, I found this transaction code has been replaced by, instead of mart grp03, it has been changed to wmart grp03 in S4. Now I put that, I can save it, and I can now activate the program and execute it in S4 HANA system. So this when you look at that note, you will find it, guys. It is actually been changed by another program. So I select TR2 and execute, and you will see the dump which was coming for transaction number 2 will go away. Yeah. So let's select and execute. Actually, it's first time I'm running these transaction codes, so it's compiling and taking a little bit of time. So as a result of that, you will see this error will also go away. So like this, you have each of the finding associated to the nodes, and just by looking at the nodes, you will identify what are all the fixes. So let's fix all of them one by one. So this time, you can see, you guys, it's running now. TR2 is running here. That's with S4 HANA. So first problem solved. Now maybe let's do with this one, this material number. What is the problem with this? Let's double click on this, gentlemen. And now you can see, guys, somebody have done a bad programming. They have selected a material number field, matna, and they are assigning to a local variable matna, but they have hard coded the type as char 16 or char 18, which was there in ERP system, ECC system. Yeah. Is this a good way of programming? Is this a good way of creating variables, guys, in your ABAP report? If you are selecting material number, no, not at all. You should refer to data element and domains. But yet somebody can do that. A fresher who has just joined the company, you cannot stop them to code. They have joined the company to code, but they may not be that experienced. However, they've done mistake with S4 HANA. Now this mistake you got to pay for, because in S4 HANA the material number field in the database is 40 character. Let me take you to the mat now. Sorry, this Mara table now. Just quickly show you SE11 and go to the Matner. In the meantime, I'll just do a run in ADT directly. So I want to explicitly check for this program, guys. Yeah, explicitly check for this program. Right click here, run as ATC with cockpit. S4 HANA readiness, say okay. Let it run. By the time I'll just go and show you what is that has been done. So I come to Mara, go to Matner, double click on Matner. Can you see? It's char 40 now. And see what somebody have done. They have hard coded this length. What will happen when the data comes, which is of 40 characters? What do you think will happen? Anybody? What do you think will happen when data comes from material table? It will truncate. It will not give you the right results. Okay, it will truncate actually, not give you the right results. So now you can see, double click here, it's a warning. Of course, it's not very incompatible change. It won't lead to a dump in this case, but it's a warning. You can see old move conflict, material number 40 from 16 characters. Yeah, you're moving a 40 character field into a 16 character field, which will lead to truncation. Yeah, length conflict will happen. Yeah, so that's what exactly we can do, and that's the finding it is giving me. Yeah, clearly it is telling me what is gone wrong. You see note number also 2215, and that note number is coming from simplification database actually. Okay, simplification database is telling me. So what I should do, just change it to Matner, save it, simple. Right click, activate it first, and then do a check again. I can right click, run as etc with S4 HANA readiness. And this time this warning will disappear because it will not do any more truncate at all. You can actually fix anybody's code. It doesn't need a rocket science, because you can simply see with basic ABAP knowledge, you can just go utilize ADT to do individual check or do an ATC run. I would say my recommendation is do an ATC check on entire custom package one shot. Just get the findings, put it at front of team. Let's see who are all ready to fix. Yeah, that's what you got to do typically. Okay. Yeah. So that is about the fixing the issues. Now again another issue. Okay, writing something happening during write statement, material field length extension. Okay, this is fine. I mean, this has no issues actually. I'm not sure why it is considering here at the right statement a check issue. Okay, domain matter. Actually, it is compatible. Should not be an issue. I don't know why it's showing, but I think we have fixed it already and it will work. It won't do any truncation as such. Okay, moving to the next one, you can see here the another one, another example which I have prepared. Here we are just displaying a sales order document. Okay, so let me just execute this. Maybe first I'll just find a valid sales order document in the system. This was something old in my S4HANA system I've taken. So I just go to VA02 and find a sales order document, existing number, and just say okay. Maybe at this beacon 11. Let's display. Okay, it's displaying. Now I use this one sales order document number. Maybe just go back and use here. So I just say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 11. And I use this function module which is displaying this. Let's activate and execute. This will again lead to dump, guys, because there's some incompatibility. I execute it and you see program is dumping. This is my custom code dumping once again in S4. What do we do? Just do a check. Though all these results are anyways displayed here as well, guys, in ATC, you can check from there. So maybe which one in this, which is this program? It is incompatible types. Let's see in the code inspector, incompatible types. Here it is. See, guys, syntactically incompatible change for existing function. And now you can see the note number 2198647. So let me go to the note number 2198647. Here it is. And now in this note number, you can see data model changes in sales and distribution. Yeah, SD. You just come down to the bottom and you see a lot of attachments here, PDF documents. So maybe I refer to the last one. Okay, so I think this VB type, this one, maybe I refer this one, VB type field length extension. So I just click on this cookbook. You see it has downloaded one document for me. So I can double click on the document, and now inside this I can go and find out what was changed actually. So VB type has been changed. So when I come down and just scroll down a little bit, you will find that yes, this is the change, guys. So you see this VB type length, which was of 1 character, is now being changed to VB TYPL. It has been replaced with TYPL with length of 4. Okay, and that's why this, due to this incompatibility, your report is dumping. And now if you come down, they will also, I think, give you recommendation. What should you do ideally? So if you come down, you can see replace your data element type, data element to VBTYPL. Instead of VBTYP, replace it with the VBTYPL. Okay, this is what you should do. So let's come back to the ABAP report. And now you can see it is being referred as VBTYP, and same error is also coming here. See the red mark, syntactically incompatible change of existing functionality data element VBTYP. S4HANA simplified object. Just change it to VBTYPL, save it and activate, and let's execute our custom program. And let's see what happens. There you go. You can see no dump anymore, and it is launching the sales order for you. Clear, everybody? What was exactly done to make it compatible? Yeah. Though you see a red, actually it is already solved. When I do next run, this error will go away actually. Okay, this error will go away. Whatever run you do now, the error will not come. We'll do a central run once again or a package with ATC. Don't worry. Let's come to the last one, obsolete table. Let's see what we have got to do with this. So I'm going to do a run directly here, run as ABAP test cockpit, S4HANA readiness. Please tell me with simplification database, what is that change which I need to do in my custom code to adapt to S4. Let's do that. So now let's see what happens. It is doing a check. In the meantime, you can, yes, it has found the error. You can see it has found the error here. And now see DB operation. Note number is 19867 is the same note number, guys. 647 is the same note number. And you can see VBUK, VBUP adoption. Yeah, with some date it is telling you. Let's take this cookbook document. Open this up. And you can see I'm actually using VBUK table, guys, which has been made obsolete. This was one example one of you were telling in some old classes that some tables have been removed, some tables have been obsolete. What do we do? And that's what exactly we can see them here. We can find the information. You see, guys, old, there is a field called GBSTK, which you are selecting from VBUK table. Yeah, it is not needed to select from VBUK because this table is being changed. It's been simplified and the data is now available directly with VBAK table, VBAK table. Directly this field is there in there. Okay, you see the new is this one. Directly in VBAK table, we have got this field GBSTK. This was earlier than VBUK table. Not needed anymore. It's directly there. And that's the recommendation. Once again, you come here, model changes in SD. Yeah, for not allowed statement in above source code check is also this thing, something it is telling some note number. So actually note has already told you that this field GBSTK is actually now can be picked up from VBAK itself. Yeah, so which means this statement is not required anymore. So you can simplify this. I can comment out, yeah, on a safer side. Sometimes you have big code, so you don't want to directly remove things. You want to make them compatible, test them, let them go to quality, make sure the business works with that, move to production, run it, and then do a cleanup of your commented code. That is the normal way I do it on being on safer side. Okay, this is how I do it. And now VBAK can be directly used to refer to that field. So I can now directly assign LVGBSTK from LS VBAK, and let's see if the field is there. GBS, yes, there you go. This is the field. It's there. I can now save this and activate, and we can run. Some result should come. And you see some result is coming. Okay, good. I think it's a sales order status field which was there in some other table. It's been now moved to this particular table directly. Okay, so that's how we have made everything compatible now in the entire package. So many examples you have seen. I've showed you, all the possible types of examples which could be possible. There can be more to it, like function group, function module changes, domain, data element, but more or less these are the kind of changes. You can relate it to quickly with simplification, database and note number, check out the note number and accordingly make a choice. And now let's do once again and another run on our ATC. We are just going to re-execute on the set schedule run. Please do a run once again on my SOH. So select it and say schedule. And yeah, just say execute. It is being put for execution. I go for monitor. Let's monitor the results. And there you see it's running already. You can see state is in running state. I just refresh. Yeah, it's on fly. Real time, you can just monitor. And hopefully we should have less findings now. Okay, almost done. Yes, we are done now. You can see all of them are completed. I can go back, manage results. And there you go. You can see, guys, all Prio 10 issues are fixed up. Can you see that, guys? All Prio 1 issues, 4 issues were there, now it is fixed. We still have some Prio 2 issues. Let's double click and check them up. All Prio 1 are gone, see, guys. Okay, there's a write statement issue now here. I think some write statement issue with some length restriction. That's a Prio 2. Material field length extension, that's okay. You can also suppress the finding using pseudocode, guys. Pseudocode comment. So if you feel that this is not actually really an issue, you can suppress it. Of course, you got to discuss with your architect for such kind of exceptions. But this kind of issues, like just a write statement with a material number field getting printed, shouldn't have an issue actually. So you can actually take this pseudocode and comment it. So I'll show you how to use it. So I can now take the pseudocode, copy this, go back to my program where it is showing me the finding on write statement, and go for change, and just at the end put double quote and hashtag pseudocode. Save this. That's it, guys. This pseudocode indicates that please suppress the finding. I don't want to see this finding at all, because this is really not a finding actually. Okay. Now I can come back and select this, all of them, and do a check again. You will see this prior to finding for binary search report will go away. Using the pseudocode, you can suppress the finding. But this is again an kind of an exception you are giving to the statement that I know personally that it will not create a problem at all. Yeah. But other things you really got to fix them up. Okay. So that's about introduction of S4 HANA, ABAP on HANA, and then about simplification database and how that can be utilized with ABAP Test Cockpit to be able to find fixes of issues, guys. Any questions? Anybody? Any questions? Feel free to ask now. Hope it is clear many of your doubts in today's class. What is that as an ABAPer? You got to do what is simplification, SYCM transaction, what is ATC, how can we use ADT to be able to do checks related to the compatibility of S4 HANA. Any questions, anybody? Feel free to ask.
So Anubhav, Dipesh here.
Yes, Divesh.
Yeah. So what you have learned today is that for S4 HANA implementation project, and I just wanted to ask you what are the other opportunities we need to do this ATC check and this simplification database type of things. Is it only applicable for S4 HANA implementation, or we can do this for sidecar scenario as well? I mean,
It is only relevant for S4 HANA implementation, and that too for brownfield implementation, where you already have an existing product in your company like Suite on HANA, and your company is now migrating that Suite on HANA system to S4 HANA. For that, it is relevant. If your company say we don't want existing things at all, we are starting a fresh implementation on side by side with S4 HANA. There is no migration then in that case. It's a fresh thing. Everything is fresh. So you have no custom code in that case. So you don't have to do that. So only considering the case where you have custom code and you want to move that custom code to S4HANA. Now guys, one more thing, important thing, that is again only for S4HANA on premise. As I told you will actually in S4HANA cloud, you do not have such a flexibility to write your custom code. Only you can do some extensions with the help of HANA cloud platform, but you will not have a luxury of your complete custom ABAP coding, because you never get an access to SAP GUI in Cloud Edition. S4HANA Cloud Edition is like a pre-built solution as per standard best practices. So here you have industry best practice scenario. So what SAP have done, they have done a research. They looked into the top used transactions and the behaviors for those transactions, like create sales order, or like business process. If you talk about order to cash, procure to pay, plant raw to plant, or plant to product. These are all your end-to-end business processes. So SAP have looked into these business processes and understood and studied them, and come to a conclusion that this is how industry use our software. And with that they've come out with best practice scenarios, and implement a whole implementation of the solution is as per the best practice scenarios. Now in that case, you will never get an access to SAP GUI. You will never be having an opportunity to do custom things the way you do. So only with OP S4HANA implementation, where you are doing a brownfield implementation, moving your suite on HANA or any other ECC component to S4 HANA migration, that's where this is relevant. That's the only place, no other place. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, but in cloud edition, you mean to say we don't have opportunity to enhance the existing functionality of a business? You mean to
Cloud
say whatever
edition is like public cloud, enterprise
public?
cloud. So cloud is again, SAP is offering three options. One is SAP enterprise cloud offering, where they have SAP S4 HANA. So you don't have a connection to the backend at all. So it's a ready to use solution. So cloud means one code base for all the tenants. Okay, it's one code base for all the tenants, so you don't have a luxury of your customization. However, in cloud they have something called manage your solution, where you can do some kind of SSE configurations to adapt the solution a little bit, but not much as as much as you can do with on premise. In on premise you get SAP GUI connection with you, but here there's no SAP GUI connection. Complete solution you access by Fiori, including user maintenance, which you today do in SU01. Your basis guys are doing it with SU01. That is also done by Fiori app in the cloud edition.
Okay, is
So
that you mean to
it
say?
makes more sense for on premise.
So cloud edition, if I compare with the on-premise, so is comparatively this product provided by SAP is comparatively at cheaper rates, cloud edition with this premise edition, because you don't have that feasibility to
Because
enhance the.
yes, both are different product offerings actually. The code base is same, but the different product offerings. See, on premise where you will bear the installation, you will bear the hardware cost. Of course your cost
Correct.
will go up. Yeah. On the cloud edition, on the other side, you don't have to buy hardware. You don't have to buy consultants to manage the installation, backups, recoveries, data centers. Don't have to do that. You get right away a connection, a subscription plan for, let's say, 20 users. Again, there are again options based on number of users or amount of usage. Suppose you use for like 10 hours a day, accordingly they will charge you. So there are metering according to that, based on number of users. So that's again a subscription based plan. So like on your mobile phone, when you buy a SIM card, you can choose an option. You can say I want to go with an unlimited plan, where how much soever I make calls, I don't care. You just tell me this much, everything is mine. On the other side, you say I want to go with subscription plan. If I use 10 GB of data, you will charge me 100 rupees. After my 10 GB of data is over, you can charge me 20 rupees extra for another 2 GB of data. That's a subscription you are buying actually. So that's usage based. You don't have to buy hardware, you don't have to invest in installation. But on the other side, you're compromising, or basically you're reusing a solution which is more like a standard solution. It's a standard solution. You don't have a luxury of doing your custom things as you do it in on premise, because here you spend on hardware, but here the vendor is managing the hardware. Yes, the cost is better, cheaper as compared to OP edition, definitely. Yeah.
Okay, my last question is, so what in today's market, basically, which service actually they are going to prefer, on premise or on cloud?
That depends on your enterprise. If you are a company of just 35 to 40 employees, your budget is not that big. Still, you want to make use of SAP S4 ERP, which is a digital core. It is completely going to transform your company. What do you think? Would you go and invest on such expensive hardware, HANA databases, servers? You got to hire expertise. You got to hire consultants, basis consultant, technical people. You got to set up your data centers. Can you afford?
No. Right,
You
got
want
it, got
to
it.
more like software as a service, where you want to still use SAP with a cheaper rate, with a subscription plan. You would like to go with that, right? Cloud
Okay, so
edition,
cloud
definitely.
edition is nothing but a service provided by SAP. Yeah,
Service, it's a software as a service. However, this is an on-premise edition where complete installation is owned by you.
correct.
Okay.
Yeah, got it,
Mhm.
Raghu. Thank you.
Any other questions, anybody? Okay, no
Hi,
check
Anmol.
for LTEKKO is initial. I do not see, Sunil, what exactly you're talking about. LTEKKO. LTEKKO initial, I think you would say only in case when you have for all entries in database table. That comes under again functional DB check, Sunil. So you got to do a functional DB check. That is bare minimum to go on HANA DB. Okay. That anyways you got to do it. That is what I have explained you in unit number 2 already. That variant you must have to run. Okay, and then on top of it, if you are going for S4 HANA specific, guys, because many of you have sent me email, Anubhav, can you put some lights on? We are unable to understand the difference between business or ABAP on HANA and S4 HANA. So that is the reason today I explained you S4 HANA is product, guys. It is not technology. ABAP on HANA is technology. And now when you're going ABAP on HANA, certain checks you got to perform because you're migrating your database to HANA DB. And that's where your, check for all entry comes into picture. Just check when you're using all entries, make a check if the table is not initial. Just check if there is a binary search done without a order by. That's a functional DB check to make sure that you best leverage HANA for performance point of view. You got to make sure that you never do select star. You got to use column names because HANA is a column store. It's going to give you better performance when you use column names. Try to push down your logic, which all the some of the techniques we saw already in the past classes. Try to push down your logic to the database layer as much as you can using SQL scripting, MDPs and stuff like that. So all that is technological advancement. And how do you deal with it? S4HANA in a broader sense is a product where many things have been built on top of ABAP on HANA technological stack with Fiori as the front end. Fiori is the main UI. Fiori user experience is the main UI. And that's why you see those who are working in S4HANA project today, there is a need for all of you to learn these new things, which I am already offering on my website. So when you go to my website, you'll find that I'm actually going in the same direction. That's why every session I am going and recommending you guys to go with these three modules, which is SAP Wi-Fi Fiori training with SAP Fiori Launchpad and enhancements, and ABAP on HANA and S4 HANA technical training. Why? Because with this stack, you will get comfortable with backend and database side. How do you design your front end? If you want to become an all-rounder, then you got to also have some UI technology in hand. Like when we learn ABAP, we not just learn doing application programming using internal table, function modules, include programs, dialog, but we also learn dialog programming. We learn ALV report. We learn control framework like CL underscore GUI underscore ALV grid class, right? You all, why do you do that? Because that's the screen, that's the UI you're going to build using dialog program, PBO, PAI, layouts, all that. WebDyn Pro, why? It's a UI technology using MVC architecture. So why do you do that? Because you got to also build a front end. So for S4 HANA, the main front end is Fiori. So if you want to build an application on S4, the user interface is Fiori, guys. So that is why I always recommending you. And the clear direction is by 2025, maximum number of companies would be migrating to S4 HANA. A clear direction. So you would see more and more projects will come on S4 HANA area rather than suite on HANA or business classical suite. And that's where this knowledge is very handy for you to be able to perform much better as compared to anybody else in your team nearby you. And that is why I'm recommending all three modules to all of you. See, even I'm offering native HANA, but that's not relevant for S4 HANA people. Still, if you're going into the cloud, you want to build cloud native solutions in Cloud Foundry or SAP Neo platform, makes more sense for you. If you have just a HANA box, you're working as a BW consultant or just working with HANA database natively in your company, you just have a HANA box in your company, nothing else, no ABAP layer, no application server, no ECC, no S4, you can go with native HANA application development, much better. But still for this, the most important is UI. Whenever there is a screen required, Fiori is technology. UI5 framework is the way forward, guys. This is bare minimum for even an ABAPer to learn. Many people say, मैं ABAPer हूँ, मैं क्यों पढूं? Guys, ABAPer के लिए भी जरूरी है. Why you learn dialogue programming? It's a UI. You got to build the UI. You got to have a screen for the end user to look at and consume your software. That is the reason this is important. Very important ingredient. The entire S4 HANA, if you look at the screens, majority of the screens are already Fiori apps. Yeah, this is why I'm emphasizing in almost every session for you guys, those who are working on S4 or going to be working in S4, and you got to go with the flow of industry because more and more projects are coming on S4 only, guys, where these three things are the most important technical ingredients for you to perform. These three are the most important things for you to perform. This is all about your back end and your middleware layer, and this is all about your front end layer. And this is all about positioning your components, positioning security, and positioning your content for end user consumption. These are all the main three things which you got to complete. You have to do. There is no other way if you are working on S4. Hope this gives a clear idea. You can see in our block diagram also, SAP Fiori UX is the way forward. Yeah. Okay. So,
Hi, Anbo. Can I
hi.
speak?
Yes, please.
Yeah, this is Rajkumar. Actually, till now we saw how to find the incapable the code which is not useful in S4 HANA is not incapable. But
Mhm,
if suppose my program I have used MSEC table and MKPF table,
mhm.
those tables are absolute in S4 HANA. Maybe I need to
Okay.
use MATDAC table.
Mhm.
Like that, all those findings, how can I find?
That's exactly I've showed you. You got to go, you got to right click, run as compatible, S4HANA readiness, say okay, you will find them. This is the same
Oh,
example. If you see our example here, obsolete table. This table VBUK is no more relevant. And this is what the finding and the note was telling us. If you go back to the note was exactly telling you the same thing. No need to use VBUK table. The field is there with VBAC itself.
okay, okay, fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Same thing when you do it for those programs. Give a try, but make sure prerequisite your simplification database is available. If it is not there, you know how to do that. If you have your own P user ID or whatever S user ID you guys have, you can yourself download that package, import it in simplification database. Even I've seen in some projects, developer themselves are doing it actually. I've seen it because basis guys may not be having that much of knowledge to do so. So if you have your basis guy, you have good terms with him, go and talk to them. They will do it ideally for you. If not, then you can yourself do. It's not big activity in our server. I have done that actually. I have downloaded simplification database and I have done this activity of importing the zip file to simplification database. My basis guy has no clue what am I talking. I sent him an email saying that SYCM has no entries. He says, sir, I don't know. Then I looked at, I found a note, and it was very easy. You just have to download that zip and import it here in the simplification database, and all the notes and information was available. Okay, there's a question in the chat box here. Can we run ATC in ABAP development tools for SQL scripts also which are written in AMDP? Guys, if you are writing SQL script and AMDP, you have already migrated. You have already migrated because when is this SQL script things are coming into picture when you are already on S4 HANA or ABAP or HANA stack. Yeah, but one important thing here is if you are using SQL script with obsolete table, I don't think so that such an ATC check will be able to identify that. I don't think so. I've never tried that. I've never used it. Promote, you got to try it. I think you got to run it on your class and see if it can find that finding or not. I've not tried it, Pramod, honestly. So I have not seen an example where I'm using a table which is obsolete in my AMDP and then I run a check. I think it will identify because in AMDP we already have an option called using clause. In the using clause we are mentioning the table name. So if that when you do an ATC check using S4HANA readiness variant, it will identify. Please give a try and let me know. Okay, I think so it will work. Next question, what is the exact difference between Suite on HANA and S4 HANA? Both are products, guys. One product is actually like you saw, I already showed you in my previous slide. With Suite on HANA, the database size was reduced to 118.6 gigabytes of memory. With S4 HANA, they have further simplified the database and they have got this digital core. Now, guys, another interesting point to note that it's a digital core. It allows you to connect to Internet of Things. Suite on HANA may not do that. It has integration with social networks. Suite on HANA doesn't have it. It has integration with native integrations and API, REST API exposed to other technologies. Suite on HANA doesn't do that. It has inbuilt embedded analytics. I will show you in the upcoming days one of the example for embedded analytics. It has inbuilt Fiori apps. Suite on HANA doesn't have that. Yeah. Those things Suite on HANA doesn't have. Okay, hope you guys are clear. It has inbuilt machine learning algorithm which SAP is delivering to do intelligent enterprise. Suite on HANA doesn't have that. Yeah, so these are all couple of advantages definitely which are there. Okay, does that answer your question? Okay, next is, will we get the line number of issues? Yes, of course we are getting line number of issues. You can see when it is finding an issue, it's exactly highlighting in ADT the line number 13. There was a red. Okay, it is getting that. You are getting the line number of the issue directly. Next question. So we do have a manual change or implement a note. Note is actually in this case is guideline. Note is not like you got to implement the code, it will adapt your custom code. No, note will not, you will not implement these notes to adapt your custom code, guys. It is your code. It is the custom code. You have written this code. Please try to understand. SAP will not make changes to your code. SAP will only make compatible changes to their code. If you are reusing SAP transactions, function modules, classes which has changed, you have to adapt it yourself. Notes are guidelines here. They are guidelines for you to know what has been changed, what has been simplified, and what is the idea or what is that you probably should do to adapt your change. So by far all the notes which I showed you, they were merely guidelines, steps to inform you what has been changed. They are manual instructions to tell you what has changed. You never implement these notes. They are not code lines. Okay, they will not change your custom code. It's your code. You know what you have written. It has to be adapted by yourself. Okay, runtime error which says Suite on HANA, is it standard or Z? It is all Z, guys. Everything starting with Z is all my custom programs. These programs I have imported my from my previous system. So previous to S4 HANA, I was having another system, guys, which I was using for my own practice for ABAP and OOPS ABAP. There I have these programs. I have copied those programs from that system to the S4 HANA system to demo you today's scenario. All these are Z implementations, my Z programs, and I should adapt them on S4. It is not SAP's duty, it's my duty because these are my Z programs. Okay, by looking at the instructions provided by notes. Okay, so in BDC call transaction statement, changing the T code suffice because the session recording also will change. Of course. So for example, you have done a recording for MB1B transaction, and now that has been obsolete, replaced by Migo. So you probably the screen elements, the screen flow has been changed. So you got to also go to SHDB transaction to your recorded test or recorded batch input. You got to also adapt that accordingly. That is what you got to do, Sunanda. Yes, you have to do that. That is also custom code adaptation you got to do with S4. What is the exact difference between Suite on HANA and S4 HANA? I already clarified that. What are the key concepts for S4 HANA? I already showed you guys some of the key concepts in a nutshell, but more when you will know when you go getting into project. Many of the differences I've told you. Maybe I'll just include one more slide in the PPT when I share it with all of you today that has key benefits of S4. Okay. Now, SAP talks more control cloud version than on-premise. Cloud is only benefit when company is minimal customizing required. Yes, when you don't want to go in extensive customizing, you are a small and medium scale enterprise with limited number of employees. In that case, you would like to go with S4 HANA cloud offering rather than S4 HANA on-premise offering. When the scale of the company is like big, for example, ONGC, such a big massive company with huge number of employees, operations across the globe, such a big company would running on Suite on HANA want to migrate to S4, they would probably interested more into the S4 HANA on-premise edition rather than cloud edition. Makes sense for them as well, right? Because they have such a budget, IT budget, big budget to manage things, but they want the customized things, customized software. They want to also leverage a lot of their custom development which is being done to be moved to the S4, and that's where you have S4 HANA on-premise edition. Okay, you are right. So cloud will be more preferred by the small and medium scale enterprises. Can we run the ATC in ADT? for SQL script also. Yes, I told you already, Pramod. Yes, you can do that. Please give a try and get back to me in case of results. Okay, let me directly move to the last set of questions. These syntax checks need only for S4 HANA or both Suite on HANA 2. Again, I repeat, only for S4 HANA, guys. Look at your variant name. Let me show you again. Run as with variant. Can you see here Suite on HANA? No, na? It is S4 HANA readiness check. It is actually only when you're doing S4 HANA. If you are on Suite on HANA, don't care about today's class. Forget today's class. Okay, forget it. No need to do anything. Okay, since there were so many questions about people not able to understand ABAP on HANA and Suite S4 HANA, I have covered in today's class. May I please know the difference between SCI and ATC? SCI is SAP Code Inspector, which is, you can basically both are same, but ATC is like you can schedule the runs. With ATC you can schedule the runs and monitor them. ATC can be also installed and configured in completely different system, guys. Okay, completely different system where the code executes, the ATC run executes, and the results are posted back to another system. So ATC is the standard way. ATC also has integration with transport organizer CTS. So whenever you are doing a release of a transport task, ATC checks can run. Okay, ABAP test cockpit checks can run. Code inspector doesn't have these features. Okay, code inspector doesn't have. Code inspector more suitable for just one program or one package analysis immediately. Wherever ATC can be scheduled, it can be set up in another system altogether. It can also have an integration with transport organizer. Many times when you're releasing transport, you get errors, right? Have you ever observed when you're releasing a transport, you get a pop-up saying that there are these error find? How? There is an integration of ATC with the transport organizer, and that is what makes it possible to give you those errors while releasing the transport. Doesn't allow you to release or tell you that pop-up, because that is ATC with a CTS. Okay, does that answer your question, Shadab? I hope so. Okay, next is Suite on HANA also comes on premise and cloud. No, Suite on HANA is, I think, only on premise version. S4 HANA is available in cloud and on premise offering, as far as I know. I have not worked much with Suite on HANA. Is it possible to run variant functional DB in S4 HANA? Of course, Dinesh, you have to do that. You have to do that because suppose you're directly migrating from ECC to S4. So you have not gone from ECC to Suite on HANA, from Suite on HANA to S4 HANA. You have not gone. You're directly migrating ECC to S4 HANA. Like I'll show you in my PPT once again. You remember the evolution. This is your traditional ERP, your ECC, from ECC to Suite on HANA, this one, and Suite on HANA to S4 HANA. So you are going directly from traditional DB to S4. You have to also run functional DB variant on S4. Okay, it is important for you. So both S4 HANA readiness check and the check for the functional DB and performance DB, of course, very important to improve the performance. You got to do that. Okay, hope all of your questions are now answered. Thank you so much, and I think we can close the class today. We have another just 11 minutes left over. Maybe we can take some more questions. I don't want to start with CDS view today. Maybe we'll start. Unfortunately, we lose one day yesterday because of server. I was also not so happy, but sometimes I cannot avoid such situations. We only have 2 classes in a week and then 1 class is gone. Like, kind of very disappointing, but that's okay, guys. We cannot control that. Can we say Suite on HANA is like HANA as a DB only, whereas S4 HANA is HANA as a DB plus platform? No, we cannot say that, Akshay. S4 HANA is a digital core. It's a complete innovation. Innovation in terms right from the database to the application to the front end layer. Most of the, and in terms of offering also, they have lots of APIs exposed to do the external communication, like with SuccessFactor, Ariba, Fieldglass, a lot of subsidiary companies which SAP has bought recently. They have integration with the S4 HANA, but they doesn't have direct integration with Suite on HANA. Okay, so native integration is there. So a lot of development SAP have done to build this product. Okay, they are building this product with lot of effort putting into it. It has inbuilt machine learning algorithm for intelligent enterprise. But Suite on HANA doesn't have that. Okay, doesn't have that, guys. Okay, but ATC also includes the functional DB checks, right? Yes, ATC also includes. You can do that. You can go to ATC and do that also. So you can go to ATC and do functional DB check. Both does the same job. ATC has more power, guys. That's it. ATC has more power. It has options to schedule the runs. You can see somebody have executed functional DB check here. Z test one, I don't know. Demo user have executed it actually. Okay. But ATC has more power. ATC has integration with CTS, transport organizers. The code inspector doesn't have. Okay. Access key concept still is there in S4 HANA. Yes, all the concepts are still there. It's a simplification in terms of architecture. Okay. As a developer, is there any step to upgrade the system S4 HANA other than HANA checks? As a developer, you should not. You are not database administrator. You will not port the data from one system to another. That is not your job. That's why I have brought this diagram for all of you today to make you understand what is that you supposed to do. Okay. So this diagram, I think, explains you clearly what you as a developer supposed to do. You are not going to run checksum tool to do an update, software upgrade, software update to the landscape. You're not going to set up Linux computers. You're not going to install HANA DB. You're not going to do that. That's administrator's job. You're not going to manage identity providers. You're not going to manage user scopes. You're not going to manage authorizations. That's not your duty. You as a developer has to make sure your custom code runs on S4. That's your duty, guys. Okay. Next question. In India, more projects are Suite on HANA or S4 HANA that you have to see. As far as I am seeing a trend in industry, more and more projects across the globe are moving to S4 rather than Suite. Okay. Using ATC, how to add our specific naming convention for project to a package. That is something you can choose your variant name in ATC. So if you go to ATC here, when you're creating the variant, you can choose your series name. So typically what I do in my project, so my project belongs to some transports and logistics management. I work in that area, guys. Functionally, though I'm functionally zero, I'm more into technical parts. So what we do is we just put our company name, let's say XYZ underscore transports logistic management, TLM. Yeah. So like this I will put it. So this is how we do actually. Okay. Okay, next question. Are you going to start a new batch on Fiori UI5? Yes, exactly. We have a batch coming last week of this month on UI5 and Fiori. For all my trainings of different batches and schedule, you always can go to my website and just click on this button, how it works. Just click on the link. It will redirect you to another website where you can find the schedule of all the courses. What is the current ongoing batch schedule and when is the expected date of the next batch? All of that is given here. Okay, and you can see screenshot of my existing training videos. Somebody really unmuted their line. Please mute your line, guys. Thank you. Okay, so you can see these screenshots here.
Hey Anubhav,
Yes.
I was just reading the customization way, how we can make it through cloud and at on premise. But they're
So
saying
there is the application. I'll show you guys in our S4HANA system itself. I'll show you. If you are in cloud, there is an application which SAP offering into the cloud. And by the way, those who want to experience S4HANA, there is a free S4HANA trial available in the cloud also and on premise also. So you can just search for S4HANA trial cloud. You can experience that. So they have an application called SSC UI configuration, guys. That is the application we use in cloud to apply customizing. For example, I'll take a basic example. Suppose if the sales order amount is more than 500, then we need an approval workflow. If the sales order amount is less than $500, I don't need an approval workflow, right? It happens when you're doing order and purchasing in your company. If you are trying to order a mouse, you don't need a manager approval because amount is less than like $1,000 or less than $5,000. Yeah, you don't need a manager approval. But if you're ordering an iPhone, then you need a manager approval. So that, how do you do that customizing? So for that in the cloud, the SAP has given an application called SSC UI configuration app. application is also named as manage your cloud solution in cloud, S4HANA Cloud, and that is where you can customize things. You can also model your organization units there, like your company code, your operating concern, your sales organization, purchase organization, plants, storage locations, shipping points, all that you can model into that particular application in the cloud. But again, I'm not teaching here functional parts of S4HANA. Just since you asked this question, I have answered. Yeah. Okay. So
Okay.
you can go with here SAP S4HANA Cloud Trial. So you'll not get backend access for sure in S4HANA Cloud. That is clear. Okay. You don't get that. So register for free and you can get a free trial. I'll put this link into the PPT, guys. Those who want to just give a try, you can do so. Okay, how much time it takes to learn all three things? It depends on you, how fast you can learn. But I would say rather than being fast, you should be being focused. If you are focused, then believe me, you will enjoy learning. So now many times when I started learning Fiori, I used to get frustrated in just a 30 minute of learning. I sit, I learn JavaScript, and then I get frustrated. Oh my God, I'm an ABAPer. Come on, I don't want to do that. But sooner or later, when I started doing more and more, I go more deep into technology. I started enjoying it. I started building my Fiori apps, and that gives me an immense pleasure. And now you see today on my website, I've started completely free learning series because I enjoy so much coding in Fiori. I've started free learning series for my Fiori students who actually can learn more advanced things on Fiori. Yeah. So you see majority of the videos are on Fiori. Of course, guys, I'm going to post more videos on ABAP on HANA related stuff as well. Like I have one topic in mind which is very popular in the market, like how do you do S4 HANA CDS extension using HANA Cloud Platform. That is one amazing topic, a completely brand new topic. A lot of people are asking me, which are actually working on S4 projects. They're actually asking me these things. So I will do that. I will do that, guys. But I need some time to do things. And now you see, guys, so many things have opened up, and it's giving me a lot of fun, lot of enjoy. My appetite of learning is increasing every day. So never think like you are a core ABAPer. I was also a core ABAPer. As I tell you every time, if you take my blood sample and give it to laboratory for testing, you will find ABAP tissues in my blood. I am a core ABAPer. But if I can do UI5 Fiori, you can definitely do it. But you just have to have that determination, that zeal of learning. Because guys, there's no way you cannot safeguard yourself anymore. You have to do it. There is no way. You have to do it. One or the other day, you have to come and learn these things. Better you do it yourself. It will be less painful for you, more enjoyable for you, or let the doctor do it. And when the doctor do the operation, then you know. So better you go to gym and work out, or you do running or yoga, whatever. Feel the pain every day and in a controlled way to fit your body, or at the end of the day, you have to get doctor's pain to make yourself heal and healthy. Choice is yours. Whether you feel the pain yourself, stay healthy, or let the doctor make you feel the pain at the end of the day. So choice is yours. You got to decide, guys. Okay. How many days it will take to learn three courses? Again, depends completely on your time. I would say stay focused and learn it. All the courses on ABAP on HANA are useful for S4 HANA as well. Any differences? They're all helpful for whether you're doing Suite on HANA, ABAP on HANA, HANA Access, because Fiori is the way forward. Even you are on SAP BIDE, BIDE is also converting their application to Fiori user experience. So all the new developments, be it in the cloud, be it in the native HANA, or be it on the ABAP on HANA, Suite on HANA, any product, they're all on SAP UI5 and Fiori. SAP UI5 Fiori is the key factor for you. And as an ABAPer, believe me, you can you can learn it pretty easily, very easily. My course is actually designed for ABAPer because I myself an ABAPer, and it was so tough for me to learn it. And I have now, once I learned it, I know the right way of learning it. So I can teach you the right way of learning. You will start enjoying. Many people write me, Anubhav, because of Fiori learning, I got this, I got that in my company. Some people got promoted to architect. There is no need of Java, guys. Once again, there is no need of Java learning required to learn UI5 and Fury. And my course, if you're taking, there is no prerequisite to learn UI5 and Fury. Zero prerequisite. Can you believe that? Zero prerequisite to learn UI5 and Fury. Everything what you need to know, I will cover. Believe me or not, it is true. You should have zero prerequisite to learn UI5 and Fury. Okay. On a average, if you say, it's enough for about 6 months of learning to complete all three courses. All three of them you can complete in 6 months. You will be ready. Next 8 to 10 year of your career is set. Any project you go, you will be usable there. You can use your knowledge over there. Okay, any project you go, you can use your knowledge. Any other questions? So with that, before we close our today's class, no more questions please. I will just want to show you a good message from my student. That's something, this kind of news, when it comes, it makes me feel to do more. It makes me feel that I'm really doing something good and really helping you guys. Let me just show you that email which I've received recently. So somebody has really got a good job offer and cracked their first interview with ABAP on HANA. And just open that email. Let me just do that. Yes, there you go. I'll just share my screen once again, guys. And it's Vinay. So thanks, Anubhav. I've cracked my first ABAP on HANA interview. Just became because of your free YouTube videos. Thanks, sir. Keep creating such great knowledgeable courses and keep and listening us up with upcoming technology. Jaldi se next video dalo. These kind of emails help me a lot, guys. Please do share your stories. Many people do write me email, Anubhav, my day starts with your voice. I am working in Singapore and my office is like 2 hours away. Every day in Singapore metro, I open your video on my mobile device and I start listening to your videos. He has actually taken all three courses and daily he is learning something new during his travel. Who is your travel partner, guys? When you're sitting in a bus or a metro, you are wasting your time. Why don't you take a print of this PPT and carry with you? Who is your travel partner? Whom are you traveling with? Are you not wasting your time? Utilize your time. This is the time when technology and SAP is evolving. Believe me, I have seen people are, some people I've seen, they've left SAP area. Many people left SAP area, they moved to other technologies, and now kind of a scarcity is created in the domain of SAP. There are not many people, and guys, when there are not many people in the market for a technology, you have a great chances of grabbing good opportunities and a good package actually. Yes, at the end of the day, money matters, boss. So you have a great chance of getting good opportunities, better opportunities, and making good money. And agar, if there is a time, this is the time, guys. This is the time. You can see easily, swiftly, fastly, you can start growing quickly by learning just these things. Easy things, not so complicated. Stay tuned with me till the next session. We'll start with the CDSV in the next class. With that, it's a wrap on today's class. Thank you so much for being there. Have a nice day. Goodbye.